people wake up, oh, excited, today is my birthday, I will get presents and people will do things for me. It's all about me today, finally. Like the rest of the year is not.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
think
kidding me? Night Ignition podcast on topic traditions. It's podcast number 37. I have to say this, I wasn't present which number it is up until this point, and now I will be putting it in the title of the stream every time. So it's we get present with how much it's done and be proud of it, and be aware. Oh, 38, 40, 110. Let's go. How cool is that, right? Thank you, Mr. JP. All right. The definition of tradition in dictionary. It is tradition is the transmission of customs or beliefs from generation to generation, or the fact of being passed on in this way. And in an artistic or literary method or style established by an artist, writer, or movement, and subsequently followed by others. So, Ula, when you hear word tradition, this is tradition, what goes through your mind?
Well, there are two options, or it's like Christmas for me, it's super cute, or it's like, I don't know, arranged wedding. Oh my god, this is so stupid and it's so outdated. I mean, it's in the past. What is doing here? So yeah.
All right, cool, got it. So chat, share with us, all throughout, like how do you see traditions, how they impact you, do they impact you, do you find them cute, do you not find them cute, just whatever pops to your mind inside of definition of tradition for you. So for me, tradition is the past. It was good when it's happening in the past, but all of them are outdated today, and not, how to say, what's the word, they just don't fit in today's everyday today life. It's just like humanity advanced in technical way. I would love to say in mindset way, but it did in certain way, or in certain areas of this planet, or with certain amount of people. And and what I see, traditions, they're holding us back. They're holding us back in the medieval age. Some are coming from the year before zero. I mean, how ridiculous is that in a way. So yeah, for me, traditions not good. To short it down, not something that benefits us. But all right. And but what do you think is the nature of traditions? Like why did people come up with traditions? Why would we be, doing traditions, or
Well,
doing something in a traditional way?
yeah, I don't think they came up with a tradition like, okay, we're gonna do that to make it a tradition.
Yeah.
But it just, yeah. But today, I think it's one of the thing is because it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
So we all know what we need to do, how we're gonna do it, how we should act, and what should we expect. So
Mm-hmm.
it's super safe, and there is no room for like disagreement, and so all the egos are satisfied, right? So yeah, I think it's because of that it's safe, and it was back in the days, it has a point, right? I think all the traditions had a point once, when they were not traditions. But yeah, today, it just because it's safe, and I think older people, they feel like maybe they even feel important
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to tradition, because it's their way.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not forgotten yet. Something like that.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, and I would just add on it's also related to memories. Um, but like I said before, and to update it here is just like, I have nothing against the traditions. They're just outdated. So most of them, I just don't, how to say, do them, or I don't go by them, or I don't live inside of them. Uh, I try to reinvent them if I find value in them, or I need to do that, so I can, it makes sense to me, but so that I can be connected, So let's say Christmas, for me, it's family time. But when people ask me, what about Christmas, family time? I said, look, every day is family time. If you don't respect and love your family and be with your family every day, in a way, or every week, you just do it once per year. I mean, why even bother, And there is a lot of people who, see their families like brother families 1 or 2 times per year, and that is sad, we have this online thing, we all needed to use it these days, so just go on Zoom, and get the whole family on Zoom, on whatever other video call for conference calls. You can do it on Messenger or on wherever, and be with your family.
There's
and then there is like, yeah, but
sorry.
that's not the tradition. That's not how we do things. And I'm like, exactly. That is how tradition is holding you back as a human being. It's holding you, it has like a shackle on you, but it doesn't have, right? We do it, we see it that way. But it's like it's pulling you back, and the world moves forward very slow in terms of human mindset, on how we see things, how we approach things. We don't discover newly. Like you said, we're being afraid and playing it safe. And then inside of traditions, a lot of things exist as you have to do it,
Yeah, and
You
it's even like, with traditions, we kind of show people that we love them. So it's a tradition that you buy a present for a birthday, right? And then if you don't do that, even if you, let's say, get them something every day in a year, and then on their birthday you don't buy them a present, it's a complete shock, right? Like, oh my God, what's wrong? Why you didn't buy me a present? But you said you love me, right? And I can see it now because I'm living a different life than my family does, and they are very traditional about some things like birthdays and Christmas and so on. And I can see that I just don't do things their way, and you can see how they get offended, right? They take it personally.
Yeah, they do. And that is what I meant by tradition, is holding you back in a shackle, because it doesn't allow you to see the whole picture, right? And let's look at it this way, right? Tradition of birthday. I was born on November 6, 1986. So November 6, 2021 is not my birthday. I wouldn't be existing now if that would be my birthday, right? It's not a birthday. That's for one thing, how stupidly words are used in that manner. And the other thing is, if we go like literally, right, and see what words mean. Birthday means the day you were born. That's what birthday is, right? So it's actually celebrating your birthday. All right, that occurs differently, right? And then in these days, traditions are used very materialistically, very how to speak, capitalist, right? abuse traditions. So and then that happens what you said. It's a birthday, somebody's birthday, or somebody celebrating their birthday. I'll call it that way from now on. And you come up with no gift, bada bing, bada boom, you're a bad person. That simple. It's that simple. Christmas, you come with no gift under the tree, bad person. You can be the best guy, love everybody, share your time with them, make them laugh. But if you say, Santa will bring presents, why would I bring presents? Doesn't Santa bring presents? Why would I bring presents, right? I mean, I'm not Santa. I just come up with that now, right? So, but you don't do that. You're a bad person. You're a cheap person. You're something, just not the guy who loves everybody and really cares for everybody. And that is what I meant. Traditions are abused, and most of them, and people, it's easy, like you said. But one other thing I want to say with traditions that I experience is, then you don't need to be responsible for your behavior. It's that day, we can do whatever, or we can behave that way because it's that day. Right?
I can get drunk as fuck because it's my birthday, right?
Yeah. Or it's a lie. It's a fool's day, so you can
lie.
Yeah. Like or I mean, and I have nothing against it. It's not good or bad, guys. Don't misunderstand it. It's not a morality. I'm just, my experience of traditions was always, what the hell are we doing, right? I didn't get them. Just like before I said, Christmas, family time every day. But let's say for my experience, the wedding, right? Most people see weddings are traditional. But when I talk to people, what wedding represents to them, it has nothing to do with the wedding. It has nothing to do with the wedding. So if you go back in time when weddings started, and you go how people saw weddings, but I'm saying back in time like 10,000 years ago, right? Because marriage exists like long time ago, two people bound to each other and vow, not bound, but vow to each other they will take care of each other for in good and bad. Let's shorten it up, right? What marriage means is like two worlds coming together, and like we could say it's a successful venture, right? Just two worlds coming together, and they promise each other eternal love, which actually what rings represents. That's why they're rings. It's eternal love. It's never ending stuff, right? And when I say that to people, they're like, oh, that's a different perspective, because most people see it, that just paper, costs a lot of money, and it's a bullshit. Yeah, I get that, right? But that's not what it is. So most of our traditions that we're living these days, they're not what they really is. There's a lot of these churchy things, Christian things in our country, in Slovenia, that people do not really put their thought into it or their mind into it. They just use it and then buy me gifts, and it's all about the gifts. So I really respect one I don't know how it's called in English, but one priest in Slovenia who actually turned down, at the age of 14, they have something to celebrate in the church thingy, and he turned down around, I don't know, out of 60 kids, 50 kids, something like that. They're not suited to be doing that because they didn't pass what they need to pass for that. They're not ready. They didn't did it the way it is designed. And then there was whole mutiny among the parents and everything. And it's all about kids getting godfather that will buy them gifts, and expensive gifts. Like in my days, it was a karaoke radio. It was wow, or a computer. But nowadays, it has to be almost a car. They're just not. If that would be the age 18, they would all get cars, brand new cars, but they don't. So it's like that. And I think in that way, traditions are these days abused, and it's tiring for most of the people. It's like a bound that you never put your voice that you will do it, but you just do it because you have to do it because everybody is doing it.
Or otherwise you're weird, right? Yeah. And you're not part of the family, or And for me, like Christmas tradition or birthday tradition, when you said like it's once in a year, right? And it's so much easier for people to be nice, good family, loving family, right? Once per year or twice per year than every day. And it's actually how I got it as a kid. Was I still love Christmas. I have this special feeling about it, but now I understand why, because that was the only time in the year that my family was loving and everything was fine. And that's why then I connected presents with love, because that was the time we got presents, and that was the time there was so much love and everything was fine. Right? Nobody was arguing for stupid shit. And for years then I was suffering because if somebody, like if my boyfriend wouldn't buy me a present, I would actually feel like he doesn't love me. Right?
Yeah,
it was that connected. So traditions, like if we abuse them and use them, they can leave a very big scar on kids, especially because they don't understand it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So let's look at it. Let's bring it in more reality, right? So, for example, right, Christmas and Santa, right? All made up. It's a lie. Santa doesn't exist. We put that right? We put that into kids' mind. It's above 18. My Twitch channel. You need to click it. If you guys are new here, you need to click it. So if there is a 5-year-old clicking it, Mom, I can't do anything about it. You shouldn't let him watch Twitch at 5-year-old anyway. So, but look, it's like you're lying until they found out somehow, right? And most people don't see that as lying. That's the first, most unrealistic, how I would say, most disconnected from what reality that is, that it can be. They don't see that as lying. Second thing, they see that as doing a favor to a child. So child would be have something to look forward to, be happy to. So what do you teach a child through that tradition? You can dream, but it will all be it's all a lie, right?
Yeah, you can dream, but it's all a lie.
Yeah,
that's horrible.
Yeah, you will dream about Christmas and Santa will bring me gifts. You will never see Santa. Who do you actually believe in? What do you believe in? It's like, empty space, something imagination. So then you put your imagination at work and you imagine something for you and your life, but you're instantly cynical and skeptical about it, because what if all is a lie?
Yeah.
And then you become cynical and skeptical in your life. And most people will argue that, but You got to look at it how it is and how you're being brought up and taught, right? Why does kids lie to their parents? Where did they learn that? Kids are not born liars, right? Traditions learn kids to lie. I mean, but not traditions per se. People abusing traditions or using, but not even abusing. People using traditions in stupid way. That's how I will say it. You know, you learn kids to lie, and then kid lies to you, and then you're wondering like, where is that coming from? I never lied to my kid. Really? Is that how delusional you are? Really? You know? So, yeah.
Yeah, you reminded, I mean, I just got a click. So, my whole life, let's say I have a good sixth sense or something, and I can see or smell whatever you want when people are lying or hiding something. And but I've been acting for a long time like this, so I know that you're lying, but I'm not gonna tell you that I know that, because it's such a weird feeling to tell you that you're lying. I didn't know where this is coming from, but now I got it. When I was 4 years old, so I believed in Santa, obviously, and my dad did a big deal around that, and we wrote letters to the Santa and so on, and he was, I saw how alive he was around the Christmas, because everything was good, right? So he took my letters and he put it in a drawer, and one day I found the letters and I clicked it like, oh my God, Santa is not real, la la la, he lied to me. But I could not tell him that I know, because I saw him so happy when he thought that I'm believing in Santa and that everything's real. So for years, I could not tell him that I know that it's not true. So I, as a 4-year-old kid, I was playing along with him every Christmas. Yes, Santa. I mean, oh my God, so stupid.
Exactly, right? And then we wonder how did the world become so fucked up as it is?
Right.
How did we get to here? I don't know, people. I don't know. You tell me now. But that's just one tradition. Throughout the year, you're doing more traditions. For sure. Right? The egg bunny, or what it's called? The Happy Easter bunny. What is that, right? I never saw a bunny paint the egg. What are we teaching kids here? Is that imagination? What do they go to zoo and they see a rabbit and they're like, where's Bugs Bunny? There is no Bugs Bunny. But isn't Bugs Bunny a rabbit? Yeah, he is. I want to see Bugs Bunny. Or Happy Easter Bunny. But they don't exist. They're just imaginary. You know what what does that do to a 5, 6, 7-year-old mind? It's like, then you got people who are all, and then we're like, well, yeah, but it's not loco. It's like, and it's. I mean, look, this is not non-intentional, all right? People who came up with traditions and keep on putting traditions in there, it's for a reason. They can guide you through it. They put Easter is coming and your mind goes nuts. Oh, I need this and that and a lot of eggs and la 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 la. Christmas is coming already at the end of September in some countries. When I was young, Christmas came 2 weeks before, after something on 6th of December. What is it? Saint Nicholas holiday. Yeah. After that, we start thinking about, but in my family, not even Christmas. It was New Year, because it was Deda Mraz here, right? So more like a Soviet holiday, whatever that is. Even though Christmas didn't exist in America 30 years ago or 40 years ago, I don't know. Coca-Cola came up with Santa Claus, by the way. If you didn't know that, if anybody didn't know that Coca-Cola came up with Santa Claus, didn't exist before Coca-Cola existed. So that is one thing about Christmas. So it's and that's how it is abused, and that's the impact.
I see
Yeah.
those those traditions, those holidays as a carrot. So they are taking you through the year. Don't think too much, about what is going on with you, where you're standing, how you see things, how you interact, and so on. No, just look at the carrot is here, come, right? So one carrot finished, okay, now it's the next one, and you just run around the year, just looking outside you, and in the future that's actually in the past, right? And
it's derived from the past.
And that's it. And where are you in that game, right? That there's no you.
That's how it is. When I put thought into the holidays that we are celebrating, or traditions, and man, the impact on the not just our minds, but on the planet that we are living on, I mean, it's enormous. How many trash Christmas provides. One holiday per year. I'm sure there is a statistic for that, right? A nice tradition, all about gifts nowadays. Rarely for some people, I think couple percent of people on this planet, it's a really family time. But those who respect and love their family, they're doing it daily. They don't need holiday for that. You do it or you don't do it. That's how I see it, And I have nothing against Christian holidays or Muslim or whatever, right? But be that every day, man. If you're not that every day, you're a faker. And it's all a bullshit, man. So, and we could say you're going through life and your life is bullshit. Because it is. Just like what Ula said. Carrot, you're chasing it. That's bullshit. What are you chasing? There is nowhere to get. All you have is now. Tradition is tradition. You do it or you don't. But do it as it was designed. That's the thing. We do it as it is designed. If you want to do tradition, don't come up with this updated version of tradition that
it's easier normally.
It's not. Yeah, it's easier, but it's not easier, right? If you look all the preparations for Christmas, it's way harder than it is Christmas is designed in original thing, right? Or as any holiday is designed in original tradition, right? The tradition of wedding originally is not that complicated that you need to put 30k euros in it, right? To fulfill it. That's has nothing to do with wedding.
Yeah, you know what
I mean marriage.
I meant actually Ramadan, because it came into my mind. I was living in Bahrain at that time, and it was so funny because I didn't understand Ramadan, and then I asked them what's the tradition, right? And they told me that you should live like people that don't have food, water, money, and so on. And it's actually time in the year that you get more grateful for what you have, and it's actually really cool when if it would be done totally traditionally. But it's very hard to do it that way. So what they do, so it, as they told me, okay, don't take it per se, but as I understood it, you're supposed to not to eat and drink during the day, and then at the evening you go and pray, and then you have a small dinner, and right. So but what they do today,
Mm.
so they don't eat and drink the whole day, yeah, okay, but then
They
they
do
have,
drink water during the day.
not all of them.
All right.
But then at the evening they eat like a lot of food, and they eat the whole night, and they then, not all of them, but the one that I know, they sleep during the day, so it's super simple not to eat and drink, right?
Mm.
And then they,
Exactly.
they made it the way that it's easier for them. And again, it's all a marketing thing. So
Mm.
uh, the when you the life changes completely. So the restaurants there are open till, I don't know, 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. So it's crazy. Everything just switch around. So it's nothing traditional actually. It just, yeah, we're doing the tradition, but actually we are not.
Exactly. Exactly. They're abused, and it's a hard topic to look into it for a lot of people, and I would say, and I can say it even though we'll put it on Podbean podcast. That is why there is no many live viewers, because talking about traditions is something people avoid. They just want to do it traditionally. They have, most of them have no idea what it means doing it traditionally, and they just don't do it how they were set from usually one generation before, right? Because we mostly know one generation before, but ask our grandparents what was Christmas for them. you know they didn't have it in this part of the world. I mean, they have it, but it was not celebrated the way it is today, right?
Yeah.
That's what I meant, and it didn't mean what it means today. So, and I said it before, traditions I don't like because they're outdated. And that was, now I see that was not what I meant. Now we're getting to what I meant. They're not traditions as they were designed. They're updated in a way they're abused. And we can touch here that just like what most human being does, we abuse things and people. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's tradition that you have a slave if you are white in North America in that period of time. That was a tradition. I mean, that was expected. It's traditionally. You were born, you have your own plantation, so, have slaves. And that's okay. And now, these days, traditionally, that is like prosecuted. But we have modern day slaves. Didn't change much. Now everybody can be a slave, not just a certain type of people, or right. So it's just like look at our lives. You work in a factory, you're a slave to that factory. Yeah, they pay you, but is your life worth it? 10 euros an hour? Is that how much your life is worth it? Or even 20 or 30 euros? It's 1 hour of your life is worth it 30 euros. That's, you have a price. And then we say, how much does human life have a price? It doesn't. Yeah, it does. In this day, everything has a price. Whatever work you do, that's your price. That's how much you value your life or yourself, or And then somebody also measured this. I just remember here, somebody measured the price of the human body, like the value of the human body. It's couple of euros. When you die and when they burn it, it's a couple of euros. The value of human body. It's like you can use it for much. It's a little bit of metal that is worth a couple of euros. Something. It's ridiculous, right? I mean, it's worth a lot if another human being needs your organs, but it needs to be done after you die. But if the body is dead for a couple of days and it hasn't been like keeping it on some
on ice.
The body is by itself, it's worthless. So I mean, it's not worthless. Worthless means it doesn't have value, but it does couple of euros or dollars. So but it's a tradition. You hear that all the time, and that makes me like just how unaware we are. Really unaware. Because tradition has nothing to do with gifts. Like, never. In its sole design, non-tradition that are up there to keep your moral high, to boost your love, to boost your connectedness, or to get you present to that, has nothing to do with gifts. There is no gift except time and attention that really makes a difference. No other gift makes a difference. Really makes a difference. It can change your life. It can improve your life, but you will be the same. It won't make a difference. But time and attention, it makes a difference. So, and as the tradition is about, all those holidays, when I looked at it, if you really look into the traditions, all they are about is slow down, be present in the moment with whatever you're doing or people you're being with, and be with the people or with what you're doing. And that's why I would say Japanese culture is really high valued, their traditions, the way of the samurai, because it's all about focus. I mean, focus, being present, and nothing is waste of your life. That's why I like the idea of Japanese tradition, right? Like somebody was making swords 12 hours per day, but every move was present move. And that's why the swords are of value that they were or are. It's because of that. Yeah. And I don't know, it's just how I am about traditions, or I were, man, they're exhausting. It's exhausting even to think about, right? Like Ursha's birthday is coming up, and I promised her I will make something for her birthday, because last year I didn't do anything. But then I'm like, look, we're together every day, celebrating our lives every day. And now that one day per year, we have to do something special because you were born 3 decades ago. Not even on this day that it's coming up. It's just the date matches. But in the universe is so much changed by now, or so little, however you looked at it, that it doesn't care. It only we cares because we say we care. And there's nothing wrong with that. I have nothing against that. I just see it waste of time, energy, focus, money, so to speak. Like, what's it gonna do? Oh, I feel so special. You should be feeling special every day. If you don't, then do something about it. You're special every day. Every day is your birthday. So, if we really value life and our lives, and imagine living your life like every day is your birthday. Like waking up excited, oh, today is my birthday, I will see these and that people and we will have fun together, and then, we will laugh together. Or do people wake up, oh, excited, today is my birthday, I will get presents and people will do things for me. It's all about me today, finally. Like the rest of the year is not. Yeah, are you kidding me?
I think that's how people see birthdays.
Yeah. It's all about me. But what the rest of the year is not, it's always about you. That's why the world is where it is. Humanity is where it is. And I will say that again. I'm saying that for the future. What we are discussing now, it will be valued in the future. Really, you will see. It will not be valued now because it's too hard of conversation for most of the most of the people out there. But it will be valued in the future. Somebody will hear it. You'll see. It is how it is. I know it. We designed it that way. When we started with podcasts and talk shows, I designed it the way we will do it now. Even though, in my opinion, most of the population is not ready to talk about these topics, hear about these topics this way now. But I have a dream that one day they will be, and it will be much appreciated. And people, I'm just, look, do traditions, but do them the way they are designed. Otherwise, it's disrespectful, and you're being disrespecting in that moment. What Ula shared about Ramadan before, that's disrespecting to Muslim religion, or to that holiday per se, or to the God they say believe in. That's disrespectful. Celebrating it in the way it is not designed is disrespectful.
I would say that if we do traditions that like exist for, I don't know, centuries, if we look at it, we would see that they are all there, as you said, to bring more peace, understanding, love, and joy to this world. And how I see it today, it's more inequality, more fake, more ego boost, and it's complete opposite. It is a tradition, in a way, if we look at it very briefly, but if we dig into it like we did, it's completely opposite. So I think that we can design as a family, or as a couple, or as a culture, whatever, our own new traditions, and they can be like daily traditions, like you simply hug someone every day, like you say, every time, and that could be a tradition. Or just tell your wife one thing that you really appreciate about her every day, and that could be a tradition. So I think we need new traditions.
I mean, I was thinking about what you were saying, right? And there are rituals and there are traditions. So I would say what you just said, not to dishonest it, or to put it down, but I would say it goes under rituals, right? If you do something every day, it's ritual. So traditions are more like monthly or annually, I would say, or something you pass on. And it could go it could go in definition of tradition, something you pass on to younger generations. So you can pass on to younger generation, look, have a wife, tell her you love her every day, and give her one acknowledgement every day, right? So why not? So it's a broad spectrum what tradition is, and anyway, so cool. I agree, and look, we didn't touch one thing, right? We did it, but we didn't yet call it out, right? It's the impact. It's massive, right? Pollution, inequality, what you just said, right? Disrespect, lying,
hiding,
faking, right? Hiding behind the mask, playing along the lies. Like you said, from 4-year-old, I knew Santa doesn't exist, but I play along because my father was happy. So was he really happy if it is based on the lie? What was he happy about? Would you describe him as a happy guy? So far, what you shared, not that much, right? And nothing is wrong with it. I'm just saying, impact is massive and it's delusional.
Yeah.
That this today, because we are not doing it as it is designed. That's it. If we would do it as it is designed, impact would be. And what I mean updated, now I get it when I say they're not updated. If we would do it as designed and updated, right? Adjusted to these times, the impact would be totally opposite as it is now, right? Cherish your family. Then you have traditions. Take care of living beings, right? They used to eat animals once per year on Christmas. I think my grandma told me, or one important holiday they had a pig, right? And nowadays, pollution of, breeding that many animals on the planet, massive. You guys can watch documentaries about it. That we don't take seaspiracy, or what is called seaspiracy, right?
Yeah.
Massive impact. Massive impact that we don't even know exists because it's out there in the waters, far from the eyes, far from the heart, but it's massive impact on planet Earth. And then there's an earthquake and 100 people dies, or 200 people dies, or 10,000 people dies, and we are all, it's a catastrophe. Well, if you would be punching somebody all the time, right, like we are doing to this planet all the time through traditions, I'm talking purely through traditions, right? It's traditionally to eat that on that day, to eat this on that day. It's traditionally packaging, plastic, all that, right? And you're poking the planet all the time, right? If I would be poking you every day, right, all the time, right, and I would put trash on you, and then I would drill holes in you, and then I would, in those holes, I would pull something out, right? I would be like cramping you a little bit, like imagine, right? And then one day you would shook and slap me, and I would call that, it's a catastrophe. How is that possible? How did we not see that one coming? I mean, what? I mean, because you were more into traditions that, because tree for the forest. I think that's an expression, right? Trees for the forest.
Yeah.
Because you were watching trees, not the forest.
Yeah, exactly.
You were watching a tree, and you didn't see the forest. So what does that mean? Being ignorant. But ignorant is only until the point you know there is the forest. Once you're looking at the tree and you know there is the forest, that's not ignorance anymore. That's called being stupid.
Stupidity, yes.
Yeah, that's called being stupid or arrogant, or, how would I say? If you do a mistake once, it's misfortune or it's accident, right? But when you do it twice, it's stupidity. And that's what Paulo Coelho said, not me. How it says here? Paulo Coelho, I don't know. Cuelho is the last name. Paulo Coelho, I think like that. But I don't know, H is silent in Spanish. Paulo Coelho, something like that would be probably more pronounced. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But, so that if I would give anything out there for everybody who listened to us this far, I know it wasn't pleasant. For most of you, some of you will agree with us, some of you don't agree with us. It's all okay. My request here would be just look at how you do it, and if that is how it is designed, not by what you were told by others, but go research it. There is also good information on the web, like sources that will tell you like how something is designed, and try doing it that way, or redesign it that it, how to say, I said it before, update it that it suits to this day, but that it has the value of the when it was designed. And just see how that impacts you and everything in your life, or just you yourself, and it will have an impact out there as well. So until next Monday, Night Ignition podcast on topic traditions is over.